David Prince, and I teach social studies at Lawrence County High School. I wish I would have named my program something different, because I know that really doesn't sound very exciting or tell you what it's about. So I'm a social studies teacher, but I started my college career out as a RTV major. Studied broadcast journalism a little bit and then went off into social studies. So I was given an opportunity about 2 years ago to add a mass media class to what I teach. So I teach government all day. Last period's mass media. I knew we didn't have much of a budget for mass media because my social studies book, the last chapter, is talking about the 2000 election and counting the hanging chads, and will Gore or Bush be president? So I didn't expect a lot. I got about $100. I bought 2 really cheap lapel microphones and 2 really cheap tripods. And they're about done at this point. So I'm using this money to buy some better equipment for the broadcast journalism class. We shoot with iPhones, and iPhones have come a long way. And the quality of the video with the iPhones, especially the 7s or up, is almost broadcast quality. So we get good video, but as the Holler Boys or anyone will tell you, audio is really where it's at. So you have to have good audio, and you need a stable picture. So I bought a couple really nice tripods, and I ordered a really expensive microphone. So we're going to take that and rig it all up and make a nice video production system. We try to crank out a news program at the school about every 3 weeks, but it always turns into every 4 weeks because we just get behind schedule. But we produce this 20-minute news program, which we did show on a local access channel, but we've lost that. But we still put it up on YouTube. So my goal is to see the quality of this program increase dramatically through the use of the better equipment. But since I realized we're getting this equipment, I love documentaries, and I'm a history person. So I decided we would also create a project this year where we do something called a history of Lawrence County. And we're going to go back and look at how public education developed in our county. Just doing a preliminary research, I'm finding out that we had one-room schools like around 1896. By 1903, I think, there was 97 or 98 one-room schools in Lawrence County. And I had no idea about that. So what we want to do is do some research on education in our county. You know, you hit the period where you have the one-room schools, and then along about the Depression when the WPA come along and started building all the consolidated schools, and you saw all of those schools fade out and move to more community schools. Then we close some of those schools down and we move everyone into a county school. So we just want to document all the movements we've seen in education in our county. One thing we struck upon just doing a quick little bit of research was we hit upon the black schools. And I hadn't even considered that, even though I knew we had a black school in town. I mean, it's Louisa, Kentucky, but we were segregated. So it just opens up another avenue of research about segregation that we can bring into the documentary. And lastly, I think we're going to try to speculate on where are we going with education? Will we always be in buildings with brick and mortar? Is it going to become strictly an online thing? I don't know. So we really want to reach out to community members. I brought this book. How many people are familiar with this? The Foxfire books. The rest of you need to become familiar with this. This was a teacher in northern Georgia in 1966. I think he was an English teacher. And he had his students just go out and interview community members and just talk about the Appalachian way of life and how people used to do it back in the day as opposed to how they do it now. And it really blossomed. And by 72, they started putting out books. And now there's a whole series of Foxfire books. And this covers everything from how to build log cabins, how to tell when to plant by the signs, and all this just great stuff. But the relationship between the students and the community members was just beautiful to see. And these younger people found out that elderly people in the community have something to offer, and they have knowledge, and oftentimes they just kind of get cast aside. So I'm hoping that my project will do the same thing, that as these students go out and interview the older members of the community, some of them who attended one-room schools, there'll be a connection. You know, this project's all about technology and how we can use technology to further tell stories. But it also, technology makes us all do this, and we walk around staring at our palms. And hopefully this will get us talking to people again. So it's multifaceted, I think. I'm really excited about it. Any questions?